All right, hello viewers. Welcome back to Let's Do Video. I'm here with a new friend, Bob Wudeck. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Correct.
All right, from BenQ. Bob, could you please introduce yourself quickly for our audience?
Yeah, my name is Bob Wudeck. I'm the Senior Director for Business Development at BenQ. I'm excited to talk about some of the new stuff we've got coming out.
I'm excited too. Those who watch the stream, who watch the show, know that I really generally focus on UC, the business communications, aspect of the larger AV industry. But I go to these trade shows and I go by these booths and I see these cool AV things and I want to learn more about them. And I always see the BenQ booth and I always see you have some cool stuff. So I asked you to come on and pick one thing to talk about. And the one thing we're going to talk about is projectors. And before I even let you start, I gotta say I was a little shocked by this because I thought we got displays now. Projectors are old school. We all got displays. We're all hooked up to our network. Surely the charge is going down, 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 down. No one's using projectors anymore. But can you explain what I'm looking at here?
Yeah, people are buying fewer projectors, but businesses have discovered that having a 100-inch, 120-inch big screen in a room like yours is actually really handy because you can see things and you can make it work. And so while the overall projector business is going down, the business side of the projector business is actually going up. And the technology transition that we're starting to happen right now is actually going to drive that further for the next couple of years.
Well, the business world is what we care about here at Let's Do Video. I mean, we care about everything, but that's what we focus on. So in our world, it's going up. That's amazing to me. Should I jump to the next slide or?
Yes. So,
Okay.
so then projections are complicated, right? There's the lumens, which people don't know about, and resolution, which are things that most people don't think about. So lumens is the hardest because nobody knows what a lumen is. So make it easy. Businesses buy 4,000 lumen projectors, according to FutureSource, who's the guide of what everybody buys. If you take 500 lumens one way or the other, because there are no lumen police, some guys rate theirs a little bit lower, some guys rate theirs a little bit higher. So if you give a little flex to it, basically a 4,000 lumen projector for virtually any conference room will work. If you got a very, very large one, you would go on the right side, but most of those people know that they need a very, very bright projector. But most mainstream projectors, 4,000 lumens is plenty bright.
So for our fancy Let's Do Video boardroom on the penthouse suite, 100th floor, by the way, of the skyscraper that we're in, I need a lot of lumens. I mean, this is a pretty big room. So
Yes,
4,000, I'll be good.
4,000, you should be good. You've got a little bit of light coming in the window. That's fine with a 4,000 lumen projector. For this size of room, this is a good place to start. You're not an auditorium.
Perfect.
So I mentioned technology transition. And this is the thing that's fascinating because we all know that when technology changes, like Nokia and 3Gs and smartphones, they didn't make the change. So right now, the projector business is a little bit tumultuous because we all know what a lamp projector is, and there's millions of them out there. And they all need to be replaced because lamps are going away. They've been ruled illegal in 4 or 5 years. And so lasers are really expensive. So people have been looking at displays until this magic new technology that's been in our TVs for so long and in your monitors called LED. And they now have LEDs that are bright enough to be able to use in a 4,000 lumen projector. And that is going to change everything because of the way the technology works. You don't have to compromise on anything else in the projector. And they're really affordable compared to an expensive laser projector. So we'll walk that through, but this is the reason why we're actually excited to talk about projectors, because most people think projectors are kind of boring, especially in business. So LEDs, however, are not.
Yeah, LEDs are a little sexy. Lasers are very sexy. So I'm understanding this. We have on the one end is the lamps that are kind of old school, complicated. On the other end is the lasers, which are super complicated, expensive. And in the middle, we have LEDs, which we know how to work with.
Yes, exactly.
That works for me.
So the conundrum that a business has is, like in Dallas, we have Hager slacks, right? And so if you're a golfer, you probably have Hager slacks. And Hager, instead of having 50 shades of gray, which they do, they also have 50 shades of khaki. And so one khaki pant versus another pant, Khaki's a hard color to represent. So if you want a color accurate projector, right, home theater projectors are designed to be color accurate. They're not designed to be bright. So my little home theater projector I have up here, okay, 2400 lumens, that's not bright enough for your boardroom, but it is very color accurate. Your hair color, cool purple, the skin tones, all going to be right, right? So, because it's a movie and we want our models to look bright. So then if you go to this room and you look at, oh, I need a 4,000 lumen projector, and you're going to start scratching your head going, wait a second, where's my color accuracy? Because there are no color accuracy specifications for 4,000 lumen projectors. And unless you want to basically buy a Toyota Corolla, trade it in and turn it in for one of the expensive projectors that are out there. Those, they're bright enough to do it, but it's the price of a car.
So it's not just less color accuracy. There's not even a standard there's not even a way to measure it.
They don't even put the specification. Right.
Okay. Okay.
We just don't talk about it. We won't say it's 62% or 70%. We just won't talk about it. So
okay. So I have my trade-off. I have bright or I have color accurate. That's our world. I could live with that.
Right. And that's the way it's been for 20 years because that's how lamps work. The LEDs. Now I can have both. So the projector we're going to talk about has 4,000 lumens, but also TV quality color accuracy, almost perfect, 98%. So, the Green Bay Packers logo will look good to everybody, but a color analyst who will be able to tell 1%. So for normal people, it's perfect. So
okay, I'm kind of expecting with bright projectors that softness, that the color isn't quite, but we don't have to have that compromise anymore.
Right. And if you think about a TV, OLEDs do perfect color, right? So now we can have this same technology to do perfect color with projectors. But this is a boardroom. This is business. We're talking now differently, right? Because we have people, just the way we're talking, right? Presentations going on with people. People have skin tones. I have kind of an olive skin. You have olive skin. We have different hair color. You have much better hair than me. But those are things that impact business communication, right? Over virtually. Why can't you put perfect skin tones on the screen? This LEDs will give us the ability to do that. The other thing is video was always seen as, well, are you going to watch movies on it? Well, of course, businesses use video for communication. And if you think back over the last 10 years, how important has the YouTube influencer come through? How important is video? How many companies produce videos? How many commercial cameras don't have HDR? And yet the top 3 projectors sold for businesses today, none of them have HDR support. So what the camera captures, you can't show. We want you to have a projector where you can actually see what you shoot.
Nice.
Now, we did leave off a feature. And the best way to explain this feature is, do you remember one time when, Hoover vacuum cleaners were number 1?
Yeah, they used to call it, it was a verb. You'd Hoover.
Yeah. You Hoover your room. Yes. And Hoovers all had the same thing. They had a little paper bag that gets attached on the inside. And if you buy a business projector today, almost all of them have this one nice little feature called a filter. And I've got a picture up here. And like all filters get dirty and filters need to be changed. And if you don't clean the filter, something bad happens. And we argue with how often we have to clean it because my room doesn't get dusty. I don't have to dust it.
But and for our viewers right now, some of our viewers might be saying, wait a minute, are we about to talk about dust? Not only are we about to talk about dust, I'm surprised we waited this long to talk about dust, because when you have bright lights, you have heat. And when you have heat, you have to have fans. And when you have fans, you have dust. I recently, I can't see it right off screen. I have my computer is up on a table because I had it on the floor for so long, and they get a little bit less dust if you have it on a table instead of a floor. And I'm going so crazy with the dust, anything I can do, because I'm looking at the fan collects dust, and I have something that looks just like this on my computer that I have to do it regularly because I don't want it to look like that. That's gross. I want to get it before it looks like that. So, and my computer is not as hot as a projector. So yes, please, can we talk about dust?
Yes, because, if you think about, paper bags were an essential part of vacuum cleaners. Filters are an essential part of projectors. Maybe not so much. So we took a page out of Dyson's book And when you go to the next slide here, you'll see that, oh yeah, my vacuum cleaner in my house doesn't have a bag. It used to when I was a kid, but not now, right? And it's almost as exciting as changing a bag as changing a filter. But today they engineered a bag out. Now it took a lot of engineering. It's complicated. It looks very high tech, very cool looking. Our projectors don't look quite as cool as a Dyson vacuum cleaner, but they do have a completely re-engineered system because dust can actually get vaporized inside a projector. So it's actually not only just convenient to get rid of the filter for our projectors, for laser projectors and LEDs, it's essential because the thing hits the dust, it vaporizes, goes somewhere in the projector, and bad things happen.
Yeah, it's bad.
So we don't even think filters are good for lasers or LEDs. So that's why we had to re-engineer. This is a simplified version. There's about 1 million fins. It's essentially using what's inside the MacBook to move heat around without having to have a big noisy fan. So they're a little bit quieter and they don't require as many fans, and it's very handy.
Nice. And that's, I mean, no, that's the worst thing in the world to have to change the filter, but it was just a part of having to run a projector.
Yep, exactly. And no one wants to get up on your very pretty table and change the projector. Yeah. So this projector is it's got a glamorous name, LH730. It's BenQ LH730, and the LEDs, laser LED light source. And we are just rolling this out, and we thought it was pretty good. We wanted to see what everybody else thought, but we put it out there. It's won Spaces for Learning Award just last week at the ISTE show, the national show over there. They took a look at all the projectors out there, and they said this is the best thing we've ever seen. The Projector Reviews and Tech Radar have reviewed it, and these are a few of the quotes. Wow, we actually have high brightness with color accuracy. This is incredible. And the Tech Radar guy basically uses a lot of video in his daily life. And so when he was seeing the HDR10, he's like, oh man, this could be the best business projector ever. Now, normally when you talk about businesses, you're talking about $5,000 or $6,000, $7,000 projectors. So, but with LED technology, it's almost the same price as a lamp projector. So this projector is coming out with 4,000 lumens LED. It's the same resolution, HD resolution, 1080p. So it's 16:9. So totally fill your screen. 2 million pixels on the screen. $1,200.
I would have expected more. Projectors aren't really what I focus on. I'm not the expert projector guy. Maybe not yet, because I do kind of find this interesting. I'm going to be learning more, but I definitely would have expected probably twice that. Am I, completely out of bounds, or isn't that what the market is?
Yeah, a laser projector that people would use to replace a lamp projector typically would be about twice this, right? So, and our vision is, look, I'm not so sure that 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, you will be able to find a massive selection of projector lamps. We're the second largest projector company in the world, so we'll have a lot of lamps, but there's a lot of projectors out there from brands that don't exist anymore. They got to be replaced. If somebody says, well, I bought this projector for $800 or $900 3 years ago, and now you're telling me I got to spend $3,000 for a fancy laser model, fine, I'll put a BenQ board in there or another type of display, a big TV. But at $1,200, now you get your giant 120-inch screen for your beautiful boardroom. You can see everybody's life size on the screen. They're not like 2 inches tall. So you kind of get the ability to have projectors, have the big screen experience, have people who look normal and with normal color hair, and be able to see video the way you would on a TV without having to spend thousands of dollars. So it is kind of a new thing, and maybe actually worth talking about projectors for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of my viewers are people in the integrators, distributors, and maybe they watch me for the UC content, but I know they have a lot of customers, and in the business world, they have more customers now who are looking, as we said, it's growing, the need for projectors. So I think a lot of my integrator friends might be saying, oh, this is what my customers need. I have customers asking for projectors and complaining about the price and complaining about the color and complaining about all the things we discussed. So if any of them, is that back to the beginning. So that was our last slide. If anyone has any questions, where should they go?
Just go to BenQ.com. And we have a little tab at the top that says business, and we have all of our business projectors listed under that tab. Or you
That
can
was
just
good.
Google BenQ Business Projector.
Awesome. Thanks so much for being here. And I'm going to have you back because on your way in, you dropped a few toys across my boardroom here. And we're going to have to figure out exactly what these are for and how they could help my, my meeting participants. So we'll have to have you back soon. But thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for watching, everyone.